It's time to let it flow. It's time to let it flow. Yeah, it's time to let it flow. Yeah, it's time to let it flow. It's time to let it flow. Welcome to the next episode of Let It Flow. I got a special guest with me, Coach Marc. What's good, bro?
What's good? What's good with you?
Chilling. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Long day, but you know, we manage.
For sure. So you got a training company called X Marks the Spot?
Yeah. X Mark Spot Trainer, one of the best trainers in the world, coming straight from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where pretty much the best trainers come from there, like Gold Feet Global, Receiver Factory, things of that nature. So coming from Florida, big time football city, you know what I'm saying? I'm just bringing my sauce to Houston.
So when you say training, is that like personal training or is that like football training or what kind of training is it?
Yeah, so I do all type of training. I just don't necessarily feel fulfilled when I'm doing like fitness training, if that makes sense. So I like to do skill training and performance training. So skills training is more so sports specific. Sports specific training is kind of skills training, and performance training is when you like time and stuff like speed, agility, seeing how fast you can run the 40 and things of that nature. So I feel more fulfilled doing those two.
Okay, for sure. So where'd you get the name X Marks the Spot?
So I just found it a little catchy, you know, just because my name is Marc, so kind of X Mark the Spot Trainer. I think one of my kids, when I used to train in Polk County, I think they kind of made it a thing because at first I was training for free, and then after that they said you should start a personal training company, and I was like, man, I really don't feel like charging people. So then they was like, man, X Mark the Spot Trainer sound like it might be a vibe or whatever. So I kind of just took it and ran with it because my name was Marc, so I kind of just went with it. X Mark the Spot Trainer. It sound catchy, and plus, you feel me? I just get straight to the point. You feel what I'm saying? I know when I see an athlete, I know what to work on, and I kind of put them to work.
Right. So that's a couple meetings.
Yeah.
So I heard you mention before the podcast that you have a podcast. What's it called?
Work to the Works. So my podcast, Work to the Works. Make sure y'all tap in, YouTube, all platforms, Work to the Works. That's pretty much a podcast. We're kind of talking like personal development, the inner works of your craft, kind of peeling back the layers. You feel me? Because a lot of people, they see the glitz and glamour, but they don't necessarily see what go on in the background when people actually putting in that work and the sacrifices people actually taking. So I kind of created a platform where people kind of come and talk about pretty much the sacrifices they took or what it takes to actually be great. Because a lot of people just see it and don't understand really. They just see it on social media and shit like that, and they kind of get tapped in with that and get hooked like that. But you got to actually see the inner works and see what actually you need to do to actually be great. You feel what I'm saying? So I kind of created that platform and that podcast to kind of talk with different people in any field. You feel what I'm saying? So you kind of come and pretty much drop some gems on what you do as far as to be great and work on your craft and things like that.
So you said Work to the Works?
Yeah, Work to the Work. So it's something I kind of created. So back when I was coaching high school football, I used to always tell my players, like, they was like, man, coach, why I ain't got no offers? Oh, I ain't got no D1 offers. Like, I'm trying to get recruited. What I need to do? And I used to just tell them, man, just work till it works. Like, you just got to put in the work. Like, forget about everything.
Oh,
like,
work till it works.
Yeah, work till it works. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said work to the works.
No, work till it works. You
work till it works.
Yeah, exactly. So I used to always tell my players, man, work till it works, man.
You want to know something that's interesting? People say, I ain't going to stop till I make it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, well, what is making it? You know what I'm saying? Like, even when you say work till it works, it's just like, I feel like you should keep working even when it works.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's the catch of it. You feel what I'm saying? You just keep grinding because if you're driven by results, essentially at some point you're gonna get comfortable and you're gonna stop and you're gonna feel like you made it. You get what I'm saying? So work till it works is just constant. It's a constant reminder that I gotta just keep working.
Okay. So
whatever it is you want to work towards. So this could be anything. You get what I'm saying?
So I'll tell you what I suggest. Like, make it part of your like motto. Yeah. It's like work till it works, and then when it works, you switch your goals and you go towards something bigger. Yeah. Because when we're going towards this, we're trying to work until it works. But then when it works, now we're here. Now what? The next step is to figure out something else that works. Now we got to work towards another goal.
Facts.
So it's kind of like it's a repetition. You got to keep working until it works, over and over and over.
Yeah, you got to keep finding different goals. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they get satisfied by the basic stuff. You get what I'm saying? But there's more to life. It ain't just the surface level things that you see. It's you got to go within, man. And I tell a lot of people, you got to really dig deep and see if this is what you really want. Because you want that offer, but you know what it takes to get that offer? Like, you know what it takes to get to the league? Like, everybody see the end goal. Like, that's what I want. But it's always important to see what it takes to actually get there. And that's kind of what I create Work to the Works. And man, it's been a journey, but you know, we growing and we steady trying to inspire and motivate, and pretty much now we over here with LetItPhlo. You feel me? And we getting it in.
I feel like at the end of the day, it's like you just got to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep going. I feel like a lot of people, they get deterred. You know, they give up. Things will slow down sometimes. But no matter what you do, you just keep going. So I know you all, help football players, train them and stuff like that. You know, you were telling me about it for the podcast. What do you feel like is a difference between like somebody who's in college, they're trying to get to the NFL? What is the difference between a player that makes it to the NFL and a player that doesn't? Like what do you feel like are some of the habits or some of the things that the people who went to the NFL did that the other people could have did to get to the NFL?
That's a good question, man. I'm going to say discipline, man. Discipline and consistency. So those two things work together. So if you're disciplined, you're going to understand that I got to stay consistent to make it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get deterred off of small things. You can't get distracted off of girls. You can't get distracted from the parties, things of that nature. Because a lot of guys who made it to the NFL, it's more so about staying consistent, always working. Now, you could party here and there. You could do what you got to do. You could chase girls here and there, but you got to understand the greater good. You got to understand the end goal. So that means you got to keep putting in work while you're doing this. See, a lot of guys that get distracted and party too much but not put in the work. And that's the conflict of interest, because it's like you say you want to be in the league, but you're doing things that's contradict to making to the league. And I always tell guys, if you're going to play video games more than you actually put on that work on the field, then you just want to be a video game player. You don't want to be an NFL player. You just want to play. God gonna make you become a streamer, and now you on Twitch playing games all day. So it's evident. Like, so I like to talk about the devil listen to what you say, but God listen to what's within. You feel what I'm saying? So your heart. Yeah. So your intent is very important. So a lot of guys, they capping. They'll say what they want to say. I don't like to talk too much, because I know that once the devil start hearing what you're saying, they're going to start putting roadblocks in your way. You know what I'm saying? But then God know your intent, so you just got to know where your heart at and put in that action. That's why I like Work to the Work so much, because it's like you actually putting in activity. You actually doing something. You're not just talking about it. You actually doing it. Because those who just talk but don't put in no work, you know what I'm saying? All they're going to be is a talker. You know what I'm saying? All they're going to do is have attention but no results. You know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of followers, but you ain't gonna have no income. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't gonna make it to the league, but you might have, you feel me, NILs for college, but you're not gonna make it to the next level in the league. So that work is always gonna determine your intent. Like, if God see you putting in work, something's gonna come out of it. You may not make it to the league. The goal ain't always to make it to the league. You can make it in business. Like, you get your degree, and now you can run a business. But it's all about putting in work and trying to figure out what's your lane, man, and putting your best foot forward, going 100%. And that's all you got. That's all you got, bro. Yeah. You ain't got nothing else. You just got to go hard. You got 100%. Just go 100%. That's it.
Hey, that was a good response.
Yeah.
You said a lot of stuff. I do agree, because I agree with a lot of stuff, everything you said. It's like if you have the talent, like you just have that God-given talent to be great. Like you have every reason to go to the NFL, just based on talent alone. But talent alone will not get you to the NFL. It's going to take discipline, consistency. But the only way you can stay consistent and have discipline is to not get too distracted.
Facts.
And the thing is like the things that make us really truly happy in life is to achieve our goals. Mm-hmm. Is to actually get to our dreams, whatever our dreams are.
Yeah.
But the only way to get there is to do some things that don't necessarily make us happy in the moment. You know, when we're getting to where we're trying to go, there's going to be things that we want to go out and do and we can't do because we got to go to football practice or we got to go to bed early, or maybe we shouldn't be drinking so much and getting out of shape, whatever it is, you know, or you know, going with the girls, missing practice, missing games, distracted. And those little things is what the NFL is going to notice. So at the end of the day, you just have to minimize your distractions, because the things that distract us is the things that make us the most happy in the moment.
Facts. You have pleasure, man.
The pleasure.
A lot of people chasing pleasure, man.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different types of pleasure. It's not just women. Like you mentioned, video games. You know,
it could be drugs. You know, it's a lot of.
There's all kinds of pleasures.
Man. Guilty pleasure, and it's traps, man. Like it's obstacles. And when they put them roadblocks, you got to understand that's where the discipline come in. That's why I said discipline, because you could be consistent, but you got to actually be disciplined and understand the greater purpose and understand that this might not make sense right now. Like, why am I gonna drink when I know I got football practice tomorrow morning? Like, why am I gonna stay out late when I know I got workouts in the morning? Like, it just don't make sense. You got to be disciplined. You got to understand yourself. And
right. It's like this. You can be consistent without being disciplined. You can be consistent in drinking every day.
Exactly.
You can be consistent, because everybody says be consistent. But what are you doing consistently? Are you consistently missing practice? Are you consistently late to practice? Are you consistently going with the girls and not doing what you need to do?
Yeah.
So the discipline is what makes the consistency mean something, because you're disciplined enough to make sure you're consistently doing the right thing.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So they have to go hand in hand. Discipline plus consistency is what's going to equal, you know, your goals.
Yeah. I agree, man. Totally heartedly, man. Cold-heartedly, discipline, success works together. Be consistent and stick with your craft, man. Know your lane too, man. A lot of people trying to do a million different things at once. I know me, I do a lot of different things, but I understand I'm not gonna get 100% out of it if I do a lot of different things. So me, I'm just kind of doing this, that, and the third. So I do investing, I do personal training. I actually, I'm doing podcasting, like different avenues. I sell merch, different avenues. But I understand I'm not gonna get 100% out of it if I'm in all these different lanes. So you get what I'm saying?
Good point.
My goal is not to get 100% out of it. You feel what I'm saying? My goal is to be fulfilled and to chase freedom. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, I just want to be ownership is big for me. So if I'm able to own these different entities, so now ultimately I can branch off and do my own thing. I control my own schedule, and I'm not gonna get. I probably might not be a billionaire or a trillionaire, but I got ownership, which creates ultimately freedom. The goal is to get freedom. You know what I'm saying? So I could be in different lanes. If I'm getting a 20% out of this, 20% out of that, 20% out of that, 20%, that makes a whole 100. But some guys, they trying to do 5 different things and get 100 out of all 5. It's not possible, bro.
That's actually such a good point. I'm probably guilty of that too. It's like so. I will say this. I think that in this day and age, it's hard to really find success and like financial freedom.
Yeah.
With only one revenue. Only one focus.
Oh yeah.
It's not impossible now. I mean, you can there's like you could be a football player. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shit, you know, you could, but even football players still make investments. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's always going to be other revenue streams. It depends on where you're trying to go. You're trying to get 100,000, 1 million, 1 billion. So depending on where you're going, there's more streams you're going to need. But I feel like you're right. So probably what people should stop doing is don't sit here and be like, I'm going to do 5 things right now. I never started none of this stuff. It's 5 new things. Maybe I'm doing one thing. Instead of doing 2 things, I'm doing 5 things. Yeah. So people try to start too much at once. And they put the plate too full. So instead of doing that, don't do that. Get one thing popping. Get one thing right. Yeah. Even if it's just a job. Whatever it is, something that's getting you by. And then do 2. Get that shit going. And then after that shit going, it's to a certain level where you're like, okay, then go to the next one. Pace yourself.
Experience, bro. Experience is the key.
Yeah.
Like the more experience you get, the more you could grow.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
right.
After if I fail at this business, now I know what to do with the next business. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they forget about the L's. They think like the L's is a bad thing. So I'm big on finding the positive out of every situation. Yeah. Even in your L's, you can find a gem. You can find something to learn for your next move. You get what I'm saying? So everything is a lesson and not necessarily a loss.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So you have a choice. Either you can get a loss or you can learn a lesson.
Right.
You know, it's up to you. It's completely up to you. Like, if you lost something, but you learned a lesson, then you may not have actually lost anything. You gained something.
Exactly.
You gained the knowledge.
A lot of people don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
It's a perspective,
It's
though.
a perspective.
It's mindset.
You gain the knowledge to do it better next time. Now, how you make it that knowledge become wisdom is to actually use it. So whatever you learn from that loss, if you apply that, applied knowledge is wisdom, and you're able. That's how you're able to grow in life. A lot of people don't learn from their losses. Fact. They take a loss, learn nothing. They probably learned it, but they didn't focus on it. It's like they try to ignore the lesson. Yeah. People came to them like, hey, it's like this.
Accountability, man. They dodging it. They dodging accountability.
Okay, that's a good point. They're dodging accountability.
Dodging it.
Yeah, you're right. And people are like, hey, man, this. And they're like, I don't want to hear that. And they do the same thing again. So that's another good point, accountability.
I'm big on no excuses, man. So, bro, if you're going to make an excuse, then you're going to find there's a way. So for every excuse, there's a way. So if you're going to sit here and tell me why you can't do something, tell me why you can do it. It's not about what's right with something. What's wrong with something. It's about what's right with it, man. A lot of people say, what's wrong with drinking tonight? What's right with it? Like, that's my motto. A lot of times I always ask you, what's right with it? So everyone quick to say, man, ain't nothing wrong with that. What's right with it though? We got to be proactive and not reactive. A lot of people live life being reactive. They waiting to see what the next person do, and then now I'm gonna react off of that. This is chess, not checkers. You got to be one step ahead of it. So that means you got to get ready for your opportunities. You got to be proactive and doing things because you already foresee your vision. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing I like to preach a lot, man, because people get stuck in emotional. You know, we go on a whole 2-hour segment about emotional intelligence, how people just crash out over like things that really don't matter in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I feel like there's
big on that. Like,
there's a big lack of emotional intelligence in this day and age.
Oh yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what's causing it, but I feel like having the phone, like something about like we deal with things through a phone a lot of times. A lot of conversations, arguments with our girl through the phone. Yeah. People on social media through the phone. And I feel like because of that, it kind of like mixes up like reality, like how we should act in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a confusion, especially for the people who are coming up now, only knowing that.
That's all they know.
That's all they know. They know more interactions through a phone than in person.
That's why there's no real genuine connections like that, man. So that's why I kind of was like away from the whole like podcast and media space, because I always been the type to be like, I need genuine relationships. Like, I don't want something that is like I'm forcing you. So even with my personal training, I never like told people like book me or like train with me or nothing like that. It's always been like word of mouth. That's how I really got most of my clients. It's like word of mouth. They see what I'm doing, they like what I'm doing. Or a parent tell, oh, yo, this boy, Coach Marc, the truth. You feel what I'm saying? But it's never been me like being extra, like saying, hitting people up in their DMs, like, yo, train with me, or yo, book me, or why you ain't booking me, like stuff like that. Cause I'm more so a genuine type person. I like genuine energy. Mm-hmm. Social media, shit is fake, man. To be real, it's not genuine. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I've noticed. This is just from my experience, because I do different types of content. I do the podcast, but I really started off doing like pranks with my girl. Yeah. Like crazy, like fucked up, like messed up videos and stuff like that. Yeah. So like throwing roaches on her, throwing an octopus on her, like pranks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I know what it's like to go viral for negative content. And it's very. The comments are horrible. They're so bad. They got so much bad to say about you when you're doing negative content.
They're going to give you the attention, though.
Yeah, you will get the attention because all those comments will and make yourself engage more. So the haters come, is a good thing because they're bringing you more views. You know what I'm saying? They're sharing it. They're saying it to their friend, like, oh, this is so messed up. And then they're watching it and they're sharing it to their friend. You know what I'm saying? So it's a chain. That's how it works. But what I'm saying is what I've noticed, one, because you're doing a podcast about positivity, which I respect that. Right. Not a lot of people do. Most people are going to do a podcast about like tea because they know that if I go on here right now and I want to talk about Kim Kardashian or whoever, that will get more views easier. Because people love to watch stuff like that. But now if I come on here and I do the positivity, it's a little bit harder of a route. In some crazy way, it worked for me. Me and Team 28 for Drop the Jewels. We went viral on so many clips. even on LetItPhlo too, for positive content. So all I can say is that, believe it or not, if whatever content you put out there is going to be the type of people you bring to you. Right. So if you do negative content, you're going to get a bunch of people who aren't genuine. They don't really negative. They don't want to, they just want to, they're not really a fan. They're not a supporter. They're just like more like a hater. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just that they're on your post today. Yeah. They're not supporting anybody. You know what I mean? Right. So the point is that if you put out that positivity, you do it in a way that works and people can engage with it and feel it, you're going to bring in people who are going to bring positivity. So what you put out there is what you get back.
I'm big on manifestation, yeah. I'm big on that. What you put out in the universe, it definitely come back tenfold. You get what I'm saying? And that's even with the work to the words. Like, you put in the work, you're going to get something out of it. You reap what you sow, ultimately. So
you put in the work, you're going to get work back.
Yeah.
More work.
Yeah. Hard work pays good. It don't pay off. It pays good. So you put in the work, you're going to get some type of payment. It may not be monetary. Like, opportunities pay too, bro. Like, even if it's free, you're getting experience. Like, you getting to build a relationship with somebody who may put you on in the future. I learned that a long time ago. Even training for free. Like, when I first started, I was training for free. I was training guys for free. But then ultimately, they the one who made me start the business. They the one who made me essentially create some of these drills. Like, I'm practicing on them while they practicing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm sharpening my craft the same way they sharpening their craft. So I'm learning different things. Okay, that movement don't work. Oh, we got to switch this up. So even though I was training them for free, I'm still gaining experience. I'm gaining more clients. I'm gaining like the exposure. I made videos, so now I'm gaining some content. So I'm getting something out of it that ultimately led me to creating a business, and then ultimately led into over 60 clients when I was in Florida. Like, and ultimately over 20, 40 D1 athletes. Like, I'm telling you, like, you could name them, like Elijah Davis from Utah. I trained with him. Jeremiah Anglin, University of Pittsburgh, trained him. Gervon Dexter, Chicago Bears, trained him. Coached him in high school. Like the work I put in, it ultimately started free, and then ultimately I get to grow. Charge $10, then you charge $20, and then you charge $30, and then ultimately you just gotta move. Because you feel me? After you reach your ceiling in certain areas, sometimes to see your true value, you gotta move. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's sad, but
you gotta go where the money's at.
Not only that, they won't even appreciate it. If you're in a small market, they won't even appreciate it like the big city will appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I see what you mean. Like, when you've been somewhere for a while, it's hard to really get people's utmost respect. When you go somewhere else and people don't know you, they just can only judge you. They don't judge you off, oh, you've been around here for years. I know you.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
You're my boy. Oh, you're my boy's boy.
Let me get a deal.
Yeah, exactly. When you go somewhere else.
Yeah,
exactly. When you go somewhere else, all they know is your work.
Yeah.
They have to respect you based on your work. If you come through with that work, then they're going to respect you. They can't judge you off of things they've known forever and stuff like that. So, yeah, I agree that no matter what you do, you have to get out your city.
Exactly.
Period. You have to.
Exactly. Because that's the only way. And it ain't even no shot to Polk County, Florida.
For sure.
It ain't even no shot to Polk County, Florida. But you could just drive around. You're not going to see too many, like, NFL players in Polk County. I'm talking about, like, living there. But if you go to Houston, you could run into the Houston Texans players because they actually got a team in Houston. You get what I'm saying? So it's just...
You might in Tampa.
Yeah. If you go to Tampa, you see that's a big city. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different animal you're working with. So Polk County is a smaller rural area.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't even got a major airport in there. So the economy in itself is not even there. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you just got to make that move, and then now you get to see you flourish. You get what I'm saying? When guys are charging $200 a session in Houston, and you feel bad for charging $50 a session. That's where create that separation. And now it's like, damn, man, you really get to see it fulfilled, like in your vision. Like, damn, they really paying $200 for a session, like in Houston. Like, that's shit crazy.
No, facts.
If you say that in Polk County, man, they gonna look at you crazy. You ain't gonna get no clients. You know what I'm saying? But that's the difference, man. That's why sometimes you just gotta change sceneries, man, because it ain't even that they see more value in it. It's just the economy. Like Houston got what, the 4th biggest economy, I want to say, in the world, bro. Like as far as like money goes. Like,
yeah, I mean Texas has a bigger economy than some countries.
Exactly.
The state alone.
Exactly.
So that'll tell you right there.
And I'm a big like math guy. I got a accounting degree and shit like that.
Okay.
So I'm big on math, numbers, business, shit like that. So it just made sense. Like it just made sense
to come out here.
Come out here, the big stadiums. You see the big stadiums, see the big facilities. It just made sense to make that move, man. And
right.
it's been working out for me, for sure, man. Just different avenues. You meeting different people, and I didn't know the importance of just relationships and networking. Yeah. Until I actually got to a place where I wanted to.
Well, you could network
and build relationships, because there's so much like different opportunities and so much things going on where you go like, man, somebody making millions off of like digital media or some shit like that, like making flyers and shit.
Right.
Like that.
I mean, to be honest, like if you have no network, then you're gonna have very little opportunities.
Facts.
Because opportunities come from your network. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Like that's in this day and time. So you have to build your network. And me being in Florida, I was able to network. Being in Tampa, pretty decent, but the network was like just only there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It was only as big as the city. Yeah. The bigger city you get, the bigger opportunities can. Because there's only so many big opportunities in Tampa or Polk County.
Yeah.
Or any, for the people out there, for any city you're in that's not like a big city, but it's still like, got some things going on. We're not talking about a little town. We're talking about a place that there's not a lot of people, less than a million or whatever. It's like in these types of areas, the opportunities can only be as big as the city. Yeah. If you want to get a big opportunity, you have to be in a big city. You know what I mean? It's really just like that. You feel me? Now, or here's how it always goes. They say, hey, I got a big opportunity if you move here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's never like, hey, I got a big opportunity for you right here in Polk County or wherever.
That's kind of how I got to Houston in a sense. Like, different opportunities.
I think that's why everybody, in the most part, end up in the bigger city. If they're leaving for opportunity of some kind, a big opportunity.
They drop that bag.
You feel me? So that just says it right there. So let me ask you this. So as far as like the kids that are in high school right now, they're playing football. You coach some high school kids. So
state champion, Lake Wells. Shout out Lake Wells.
Okay. So you coached a team that was a state champion, which is crazy.
We went 15-0. 15-0 state champion.
What coach were you? Like what kind of coach?
A wide receiver coach. Yeah, I was a wide receiver coach.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what advice do you have to the youth, to the high school kids right now who want to be an NFL player, trying to figure out what they need to do now to become an NFL player?
Work till it works, just to keep it like brief. I mean, work till it works. But honestly, your goals gotta match your habits. So if your habits is not matching your goals, then you gotta reassess if you actually want to make it to the league or not. So that starts from like eating good, eating healthy, working out at least 3-4 times a week. Staying consistent with your schoolwork. Like, you can't play football if you ain't got grades. Like, that's just common sense. So at that point, you got to take school serious. So limiting the times you kind of like stay off the weed, stay off the drugs, the alcohol, like limit the party. Like, it's all good to have fun in high school, but ultimately you got to understand the sacrifice it takes to be great, man. Like, there's sacrifices that come with this, man. It ain't just, I'm going to make it to the league and I don't have to give up nothing. You feel me? Too much is given, much is required. Like, we got to understand that. So if you want the most out of this shit, you got to actually put the most out. So I would just tell them stay consistent, work hard as far as like working on your craft, footwork, weight room, a lot of just speed, agility. Like, even if you got a coach, man, pick their brain, ask questions, watch a lot of film. Like, it's so much that it takes to be great, bro. Like, it's so much it takes to be great. You just got to do something to get better tomorrow. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, like, make yourself better tomorrow than you were today. Like, so just keep on grinding, keep putting in the work, and just make sure you check all the boxes, man. And don't just check one box, check all the boxes. So some guys, they want to work out, but don't want to hit the field. Some guys want to hit the field, but don't want to work out in the weight room. Like, you got to check all boxes. You can't just check one, bro. If you want to be just a possession guy, like for receivers, like you want to just catch the ball, like then you just gonna work on your hands. But if you want to actually score touchdowns, catch the ball, and run after the catch, then you got to work on your speed, your agility, all that. So it just depends on what type of guy you're trying to be. Like if you're trying to be all around guy, then you got to put in work all around. Like it just make it, bro. It's not complicated, but a lot of people make it complicated because they don't want to put in the work. You feel me?
Well,
make
no.
Excuses.
But see, that's why it's important to ask that question because, it's not complicated to you because you've already been through it. You're seeing it from the outside looking in.
Facts.
But when you're in, that's people need to hear it
because
they're not seeing it in the time. So they have to hear this stuff, from people that they respect or people that are speaking the truth. Because sometimes when they hear it from their parents, even their own coaches, they're not really hearing it. They got to hear it from somebody else who's like, hey, and that's how I was when I was a kid. Yeah. Maybe my coach was saying it. Maybe I was hearing it. Maybe my parents were saying it. But if I wanted to really understand, it had to be my homeboy telling me.
Yeah.
When he was telling me, I was like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it had to be somebody that close to me for me to really hear it all the way. That's why it's important to say that.
That's another aspect, man. Like, so with the mentoring aspect of what I do, I like to teach guys to be leaders. Like, don't be a follower, bro.
Right.
Like, ultimately, you got your own path, so why are you following the next man? We done got into this culture with social media. Everybody, like, they want followers. They want to follow. And, bro, we got to create our own path. We got to be leaders because, man, God wrote your story. Like, it's your book. Like, it's not the next person's book. So you got to put in your work for you, and you got to create that path for you and then help others. Like, so it's like, it ain't just about you. Football is a team sport, so I like to teach guys to put everybody on. I'm big on shout outs and repping other people. So I was one of those coaches. I'm posting all my players' highlights, making sure they try to get in college because that's the ultimate goal. Like, winning games, a lot of coaches think winning games is, they look at it from a business aspect, especially here in Texas. I done peep. Like, they getting paid so much, they trying to win games. Yeah, they're not understanding that the real goal is to create better men for the society and also get guys in college. Like, that's the real goal, man. Like, you can win games, but if you ain't sending nobody to college, what you really doing? If you ain't preparing them for the world, the real world, what you really doing? Like,
so what you're saying is, when you're a coach, as much as you want to win games, you have to realize that that's your personal. That's for you.
Yeah, that's
for your record.
That's ego.
But for the kids, you want them. The real goal should be to get them to prepare them for the college.
Yeah.
As opposed to just trying to win every game. You want to win, but it's more about how can I make these people a bigger and better future for them.
Facts.
Your players.
And then that grows after that. Like, even if you don't make it to the league and you don't play football, now I could work team with my homeboy and we could build a business together. Or I could rep his brand like I rep my brand. You feel what I'm saying? So I shout out people's clothing brand. Like, if I know you, I fuck with you, I'm gonna shout out your clothing brand. I'm gonna shout you out on your podcast. I'm gonna rep your brand like it's designer. Like, see me, I'm big on. I don't care about designer, Louis, Gucci, all that shit. I'm gonna wear my shit. Like, cause I make merch. Why I'm not gonna wear my shit? My shit designer too.
You should. And I saw a post today. It was a meme. It said that your homeboy's brand is designer too.
Yeah, really. He made that shit. Yeah. Like, your homeboy created that. He took time and did that.
Yeah,
Why he ain't getting the love? Like, why you ain't wearing his shit to the club?
Like, most of the podcasts we do, we wear people's brands.
Facts.
We wear people's brands.
You got to, man. Yeah. You got to rep the brand, man.
For a lot of brands.
And shout out.
Some great brands.
Yeah, repost, like shit like that. Like, shit that's free. People act like they can't do it, like, because they too cool. But they'll post a celebrity for free. They gonna post they drinking Don Julio for free.
Yeah.
They just boosting up their sales. But then your homeboy, he can have a Kool-Aid stand or some shit.
Yeah.
And you ain't finna post that.
You ain't gonna post none of that shit. And I feel like that's one thing that's really wrong with society today. And there's something you said earlier about followers. I almost feel like, because we need more leaders in the world, but there's certain people out in the world who don't really want leaders. They want a bunch of followers. Yeah. So I feel like by having social media and all of us are gaining followers, we are following. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that is like psychologically making people be more of a follower than a leader than they used to be?
Yeah. I mean, that it just created what I look at social media. I kind of see a bunch of people chasing something that's not real.
Yeah.
And it's like an illusion. And then they start comparing themselves to other people's lives. And ultimately, it's fake, but then you getting unhappy because you're comparing and you ain't got what they got. Yeah. So, I mean, I know it's a cliche conversation, and a lot of people like talk about it and say it. That's why I don't really like talking about it too much. But it's the facts. It's the facts. So people just essentially just following everybody and trying to live other people's life and not understanding what it took for them to even get there. So now you unhappy about a situation that you got, but you don't even know what that person did to get in that situation. Or they won't even put it to put it in the work aspect, like work to the works aspect. You don't even know what it took for them to grind to get that $1 million, but you want the $1 million, and you mad because you ain't got the $1 million yet. You ain't putting the work to get the $1 million. So it creates that aspect, but it also, I just like it just because you can spread the messages and you can kind of like promote, and people could become business owners, because I'm big on business, I'm big on ownership, and I'm big on freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
you put in that work, you own it, you own something. You feel me? Ultimately, you could get some freedom out of it. Yeah. If you really put in that, if you
so basically, like you were talking earlier about thinking of the positive side. Yeah. Basically, you're just talking about the positives. You know, you're looking at the positive side of it. Exactly. And you should, because there is a lot of positivity in social media.
Facts.
But I do agree. A lot of people do get unhappy because they try to compare themselves to other people.
Yeah.
They go on social media, they see other people, oh, they got this new car, or they got that outfit, them shoes, that whatever, those jewels. And it's like, bro, we have to understand. First of all, we'll say this. A lot of people only put their greatest moments on social media.
It's a highlight reel.
It's a highlight reel. So you'll realize that when you go to the game, the highlight reels are fire. But when you see them on the field, there's a lot of mistakes that are made. There's a lot of things that don't look like that highlight clip that's going on in life. Yeah. Our life isn't just a highlight clip over and over and over. There's a lot of points where we're down. We're not good. We're unhappy. We're not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? We don't got the jewels. We don't got the car at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of stuff like that going on. So, but we're not going to put that on social media. So the point I'm trying to make is people need to stop looking at people's social media and trying to compare their life and compare to your life. The only person you should compare to is you yesterday. You last year. You last month. How much did I make last month?
Free game.
Yeah, exactly. Or and from a football perspective, the only person you should compare to is the last tape you watched. When you were in there, and you're watching the tape, and you saw you making those mistakes, the next game, and you're watching it, instead of comparing the other players that are on the same position as you or other teams, compare yourself to the last clip you watched of yourself.
Facts.
That's life. That's how you can be happy, because if you're always going to get better naturally. You might have a bad game. You'll know it's a bad game. You won't really judge yourself on that. But you know if you went all in on that game, it's most likely going to be better than your last game.
Yeah.
So that's why you can always be happy by comparing to yourself. You compare to everybody else, you're going to constantly be unhappy.
Exactly. And progress is the key. So I'm always telling guys, man, if you're going to put in that work, just make sure you're making progression. Like, don't compare yourself to the next player. Don't compare yourself to the NFL player. Just compare yourself to you. Make progress. That's all that matters. You got to be the best version of you. You don't have to be the best version of the next man. Be the best version of you, because God gave you the ability to do what you got to do. He ain't going to give you nothing you can't handle. So at that point, it's like, shit, I got the tools. Now I just got to put it to work. You feel what I'm saying? Right. And work till it works. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a great point you made, man. Free gems, man. You give a lot of good points, man.
Yeah. You as well, bro. For sure.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Who would you say is the most iconic football player of this generation?
Iconic football player of this generation. I mean, I'm going to go with Deion just because of what he's doing from a coaching aspect. And he did as a player aspect. So he played everything. Baseball, you feel what I'm saying?
He did.
Played both sides of the ball. Then you come in this coaching avenue and do the same, get some success in that same avenue as well. I'm going to have to go with him just because, man, he did it his way too, man. Like, swagger and all. Like,
So I'm trying to remember
Dion.
He played what? He played, what was it, cornerback?
Yeah, he played cornerback.
And then what was the offensive position he played?
He used to play receiver too, and he returned kicks.
Okay.
So he all phases of the game, played all phases of the game, and then he came in the coaching avenue and dominated the coaching avenue at Jackson State. Then went to the Power 5, and then he's still having success. That's the definition of a man who put in that work, man, who grind, man. And a lot of guys look at the glimpse and glamour and look at, he got the sneakers and all that stuff, but you could tell, like, he's one of them ones who put in that work. Like, he back up what he's talking because he got the results to show it. Like, you can't fake that. Like, a lot of guys, there's some shit you can't fake. Like, you cannot fake it because you're going to get pushed to that test and somebody going to see if you really bought that. If you really bought what you're talking about. Yeah. And a lot of times that's what it is on social media. Like, these guys, it look good on the camera. It look good on social media. But then when you get to college, you going to have to show that you really that gangster. Like, you got to really show that you him for real. Yeah. And if you don't put in that work, you're not finna be that guy for real. Because everybody got talent on that level. Yeah. What's going to separate you is you being in that film room, you being in that weight room, you putting in work on the field, you being respectful, you getting good grades. Like, that's what's going to separate you on that level. And then sometimes, bro, guys who ain't got discipline, they going to weed themselves right out. And then that's your opportunity to get a position.
Yeah.
You to start, or you to give you a first-round draft pick. Because a lot of guys, they going to take themselves out, man. They going to exit themselves right out just based off of bad habits or vices, man. Like, at the end of the day, I seen that. Like, guys would crash out over, like, liquor, or they just because they want to have a good time. Like, we see it every day, man, where guys get locked up, or you could pass away. Like, one of my things is, just to kind of motivate me, I know this kind of crazy, but every time I wake up and I, like, see something negative, I'm like, bro, tomorrow you could die. Yeah. Like, I know it's deep, but at the end of the day, tomorrow you could die. You could die. And none of this shit matter. Right. So that's always my motto when it comes to certain shit. Like, when you feeling that roadblock and you feeling like, man, it's the end, or you feeling like, man, it's tough, or you feeling like I can't handle this, tomorrow you could die. Gratitude, man, humility, like, those are the things I'm trying to teach young guys as well, not only from the physical aspect, but trying to be a mentor and just teaching financial literacy. Like, these are the different avenues I'm trying to reach people, because I know when you get older, bro, because you ain't gonna play football forever. Let's just keep it 100, man. Some guys, the average lifespan of the NFL player, 3 to 4 years, to be honest. On a good note, 4 years, but so you're not gonna play this forever. So you gotta have the tools to maneuver in life, whether it's financially, whether it's the mental aspect. You gotta make sure you good up here and up in here before you could be good out there. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. It starts within. It starts internally before you could bring it out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, they like to dress up, look fly, and take care of the outer appearance, but
ignore the inside.
Ignore the inside. Yeah. And that's where a lot of people get it twisted, man. A lot of people get it twisted. They so focus on the outside, and they get the validation from the outside that they feel like they don't even have to work on the inside.
But see, a lot of those people are looked at as fake. It's not about how they dress or how they look. People recognize it. They get around those people who are like, bro, there's nothing here. Yeah. Like, when I talk to you, you don't have nothing to say.
Because you're going to get in them rooms. You're going to get in them rooms with everybody who actually got it for real. Yeah. And then they're going to test you like, hey, you're going to feel like, well, damn, this ain't enough. The design ain't enough. Yeah. The jewelry ain't enough.
That don't matter,
You know what I'm saying? They're going to test
your actual G.
They're going to see what you know up here. Yeah. And what you feeling in here. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And if you been in them spaces, you feel, you're going to get in them rooms where they don't matter what you got on. They're going to ask you a couple questions. Yeah. See where your mind at. And see where your head
at.
Through that shit. They see right through that shit, man. And that's what I'm trying to I try to teach kids that a lot. Because adults, a lot of adults, man, they stuck in their ways, man. I learned that a long time ago. Like, you could try to talk to adults, but a lot of them is just stuck in their ways. They stuck in their habits. But then the youth, though, you could get to the youth before they get to that adult stage where they're like stubborn, stuck in their ways. you could get to them. So that's kind of who I like to speak to a lot.
Well, I agree to a certain degree. This is what I can say.
Talk to me.
In the adult space, the people change when they go through tragedy. People change when bad things happen.
Facts.
People change when they're in situations that give you no other option. So that's why. So the reason why I think that's important is because a lot of my viewers are adults, and I do feel like I'm able to help them kind of steer their path. I might not be able to change them necessarily like complete 3 or 180, but I do think that I'm able to help guide people in a better direction. And a lot of people are going through things, so we're speaking to them. We're speaking to them about who they are, what they're going through right now. You know, so that's why I would ask you this question. This is a deep topic. What is the hardest struggle that you ever went through in your life?
Moving, I want to say is a tough struggle, man. Just because you away from family, you know what I'm saying? And you out of your comfort zone, bro. Like, when I was in Florida, man, I'm comfortable. Like, I got this going on, that going on. I could just go see my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got clients calling me every now and then. When you move and you kind of like trying to figure everything back to square one, you got to get more strategic. You got to get a little more, all right, now I got to do some media. Because now I was a big fish in a small pond. You move to a big city, now
you're a small fish in a big pond.
Small fish in a big pond. You know what I'm saying? So now, the things that I was uncomfortable with doing, like, I don't like talking like that. I'm antisocial. Like, I'm an introvert by nature. But I like to give game and stuff like that, but I rather like do that in a private session or something like that. I don't like to talk out in the public and stuff like that, because I just feel like, man, everybody talking. Like, who's actually doing? You get what I'm saying? But now that I moved, I mean, I'm making adjustments where I gotta step in front of the camera. I mean, I might have to learn how to edit videos, make new workout videos, shit like that. So I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, just kind of figuring it out, man. So, I mean, moving is a struggle, man. And ultimately, growing up, man, also was a struggle, just coming from a Haitian background and not having much. That kind of molded me into like being grateful and pretty much understanding sacrifice and shit like that. And just when you go to Haiti and you see what Haiti got, and then you come to America, you be a lot more thankful. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like people here got it so good, so they could complain about so much shit that really don't matter, like, in real life, bro. Like, if you really dig deep, you don't really need that. But a lot of people act like they need shit just because you so accustomed to it. You living in a Western society where it's like, yo, I gotta have 100 pair of shoes, a different outfit every time I travel, like shit like that. But then you go to Haiti, man, they happy to have one pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? So it just put a different aspect on life, and you get a different perspective, and like you don't take your losses, you don't take your lows as too low, and you don't take your highs too high. You know what I'm saying? You stay right there in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, people in America they're all over.
Yeah, it's
a big old roller coaster.
High, like, say for instance, somebody make $1 million a day. Oh, they finna go crazy. They finna buy the latest car. They gonna buy the latest house. Right. They gonna go crazy. You feel what I'm saying?
And then they go to the biggest low.
You gonna go all the way to the low. And same thing. They'll go if they get broke. Let one of them go broke. Oh, it's the end of the world. They gonna want to kill themselves. Like, I mean, shit like that. They gonna want to go to the low. But you gotta understand that happy medium. You gotta have that gratitude, that humility. That's gonna keep you at that happy medium to where it's like, I got it, but shit, I'm still me. You know what I'm saying?
I like
or
how you
I
said
don't
that,
got
bro.
it. I'm still me. You know what I'm saying? I still got. You got limbs. Like you still can smell. You still can see. You still can hear. Some people ain't even got that.
Yeah.
So you got to take that, man. You got to appreciate all that shit, man. Because, like I say, you could die tomorrow. Like, you could die tomorrow. I got that, man. I got that shit written down in my book, man. So every time I open that shit, man, it's like, you could die tomorrow. So what you going to do today? How you going to lead this world? Like, how you going to lead it? Are you satisfied with what you did? Like, you got to, like, that quote, man. I don't even know where I got it from, but...
What was it? What is it?
you could die tomorrow.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like I don't even know where I got it from.
That's
I got
a good
it from somewhere,
example.
but it's like, man, it put life in so much. It put it in perspective, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it's a good perspective.
To the point where you could like, you thankful for everything.
Yeah. Well, I feel like appreciation is the only path to happiness.
Facts.
Because if you're not the only thing that makes you happy is appreciating something. Yeah. Think about it. Because if you have something fire in front of you or something going on that's dope, and you go like, oh man, I don't like that, or you got something negative to say, and then you're gonna see it as a negative. You're gonna be unhappy with it. Yeah. But if you appreciate it and say, oh man, I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad I got this food. Or I'm so glad I got this girl or whatever. Then you're happy. But as soon as you start, so it's like it's really a decision to appreciate. We have that decision within us. Yeah. But a lot of us decide subconsciously / consciously that they're not gonna appreciate in this moment. It could be people around you. If you're around people who don't appreciate stuff, you're gonna fall right in with them. Because it's like this: you're at the dinner table, you're eating. You're not. I mean, to you, it's good. Maybe it's not the best thing ever, but you're not. It's good to you, and then your homeboy's like, "This shit nasty." All of a sudden, you're like, "Oh man, this shit nasty."
Full circle.
But before they said that, it wasn't nasty. So this isn't just about food. This is life. You're at a show, someone's performing, you're like, man, I'm vibing. Your boy's like, man, this shit trash, I'm about to leave. You're going to kind of be like, oh, man, this shit is kind of trash. You didn't feel like that before they said it. So that's why you got to keep the right people around you who are going to appreciate life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
See
how you brought that shit full circle?
Yeah.
We was just talking about the following mentality, the comparing your life on social media. All that shit come full circle. That shit work with your mental. Like, if you really not appreciating something, is because you got a way of thinking, like your mindset. Like, you feel like you feel like you're entitled to something. Like you feel like you deserve something. You get what I'm saying? So that's all the mindset that social media creates. Because now you looking at the next man, seeing this man, he made $1 million off of YouTube. So you quote unquote thinking it's easy. When in hindsight, it's not easy. You get what I'm saying? That shit take work. A lot of people don't understand that.
Did you hear about the CEO that got killed a couple of days ago?
Yeah. United Healthcare CEO. Yeah, that was
that's crazy.
That was a plot.
They just came and shot him, broad daylight.
Yeah, I feel like that's a plan, man. That was a hit, man. I think it has something to do with because a lot of people were saying that they was denying a lot of people with healthcare and shit like that. And then they also said like they were laying off. United Healthcare was laying off a lot of people and stuff like that. But it's interesting, man. If you got some time, look up the income of the CEOs for all the healthcares in America, and then you just gotta look that up, and then it's gonna give you some perspective on why people feel the way they feel about them.
I can't find. Okay, the bullets that shot the CEO of the United Healthcare?
United Healthcare
said, "Deny, defend, depose." Now I was seeing somebody who on TikTok was saying like deny, meaning they deny people for claims, people. Right? They defend anybody who is their client, and they'll depose of you. So it's like, bro, like people, it almost seems like somebody in the background is standing up for change. And I'm not saying I support it. I'm not saying I support killing CEOs. That's crazy. But I'm just saying that, like, what's the message is, man, it's time for change for real, though. Yeah. It's a new world now. I feel like things are changing in so many ways. And we need to make, like, these CEOs are making all this money. There's more profits right now with these corporations right now than ever. Facts. And we're out here, a lot of these people out here struggling with the prices going up. A lot of millionaires having trouble keeping their status. A lot of people who are barely making it by right now. Yeah. And it's like, but these CEOs and stuff are making more profit than ever in history. Yeah. It's like, bro, that's unacceptable. I feel like I don't agree with this, with killing people because, I don't know if you heard, but like a bunch of CEOs were taking their names and their titles off of the websites. Like they're trying to keep who a CEO is secret, which is kind of interesting because now we might have some people who are like, what's really going on? What if this is a
They can't though. Like if you got a publicly traded company, you can't essentially like hide that type of information. So they in trouble.
Yeah, but think about this. What if this situation is used to keep CEOs secret now? So it's like when things like this happen, I look at every angle. Because like now you might be able to pass a law to make it a secret who's on the chair and who's the CEO. Now we don't want that because now you got people who are CEOs. We don't really want to be CEOs. Like we might think a certain way about that person being the CEO when they were just holding a government official position or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. It's just crazy. What do you think about it though?
But honestly, man, I think it's unfortunate because, man, a lot of these CEOs don't necessarily have the power that people think they have. Mm-hmm. Sort of like the president.
Right.
Like, these companies have a board.
They have a board that has to vote.
That has to vote. So, essentially, it's not the CEO. I mean, that's the face of it, which is that's why I say it's unfortunate because he's the face of all the decisions, but he may not necessarily agree with certain things.
Right.
The board may have voted this, that, and the third, and then that's what they got to go with because the board ultimately runs it. Whenever you have a CEO, like, they're not the owner. They are managing, like, essentially they're managing a corporation or a company. So at that point, they have to have a board who decides on this thing. So the founder and the owner, that's more so the person you can, like, blame if that's the case. Like, you can't blame a CEO too much. You got to blame an owner or a founder because they actually condone all this and they actually put board members in those seats. So I have.
So it's kind of like, what were they trying to do? Like, what's the point? Yeah. I mean, I had to look into the politics of like this CEO. What was he doing specifically? What was he standing up for? What was he going against? What was his position on things? But I just thought it was crazy when I saw it. We're out here killing CEOs. Like we have a new election that just ended. Like so. What is your thoughts? How do you feel about the election, about the winner, about the situation, about the future of our country?
Man, I don't like talking about politics too much because it's a sticky situation. Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, sort of situations like this with this type of president who spew all this hate, and people are really sticking their chest out when it comes to like hatred and stuff like that. That's essentially that's what you're going to be seeing in the next coming years. Like people who just unapologetic about what they do out there in public, just standing on business. Like how we said, just standing on business. Like if I feel some type of way about something, I'm going to let it be known and I'm going to show you because that's how our president is. So, I mean, it's a gift and a curse because it's a good thing for people to let you know how they feel about you and things of that nature.
Instead of lying.
But on the flip side of it, people got some sick things going on in their mind.
Right.
And there's a lot of trauma, hurt people who like to hurt people. So at that point, you run the risk. If do you really want people to show you how they really feel? Or do you really want them to stand on that?
I see some of the points you're making about, here's what I think. I think that with the last president we had, I don't feel like he was in charge of anything. I don't feel like he was. I mean, there's ever was a time in history there was a president who wasn't actually in charge. I would have to say it was him. Because who the hell was calling the shots? This guy can't even walk up the stairs. This guy can't do anything like that every other president before him was able to do. I don't know how it was back in the day. I didn't see a video, but since we had video footage, all these presidents have been able to walk around, do things, be normal, have a conversation. So I feel like we didn't have a president who was actually our president. Now I don't know if Kamala was going to actually be the president or not. I don't know if she was going to be the same thing, part 2. I don't know, but all I can say is that we had to have somebody come into office who was actually the president. Now was Trump the best option? I don't know if I could say that now. You know what I'm saying? But all I can say is we had to get out of there these people who are quote unquote puppets. Because those people, they're not gonna do anything. We don't even know who we're dealing with. It's like I'm talking to you, but no matter what you say, there's somebody telling you what to say. So what are you? Are you the president? Or the people behind you the president? Who are they? Those are a secret. Who the heck are they? Yeah. Who are the people who was?
I feel like that's all around though, man. I feel like all presidents is puppets, man. Honestly, like Trump just talk loud, but essentially, man, Trump don't have as much power as he say he do. Like he gonna say he gonna send 1 million immigrants back home, but man, you know how hard it is to do that. Like, like it's all talk. Like, but he playing the game. Because he understand the climate and what type of world we're living in right now. Like, he going to garnish attention. He gonna garnish all that type of attention, and now people are gonna vote for him, which is what happened essentially. Like he took that route where I'm gonna get attention, I'm gonna say reckless things so I could get the views. I'm gonna tell y'all that I'm gonna change the economy, make America great again. Like he's a marketer, like he is a professional marketer.
Right.
So essentially, that's what he did.
Profession.
Yeah, by profession, exactly. Yeah. So he's tailor made for this type of society. This type of society. We're interested in negativity. We're interested in things that get attention. We're gonna let's see what Trump's gonna do.
Like, right, but you know what? I will say this, and that's where they went wrong. People love to get in negativity, and the news were always pushing such a negative vision of Trump. So what happened was people fed into it, and they ended up, it just made more conversations about it, and even made a lot of people want to support him more because of that. If they would have just stopped putting him on the news at all. Instead of putting them on every day saying Trump said this, they could have just said nothing.
Ratings, man.
And then his ratings would probably been lower. They were trying to put all the negative stuff out, but all it did was promote him. Because here's what I'm trying to say. How people always say, not all publicity is good publicity. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're a nobody, you have nothing going on, but all of a sudden everybody's talking bad about you. Now everybody knows who you are. So nobody knew who you were before. Now everybody knows who you are. Even though it was a bad thing they said, people forget. And now you're out here doing a good thing, and not everybody knows who you are. So that's why it's like you just stop putting it on, stop promoting it. And so it's that's the message to his opposition. Yeah. Like, man, stop promoting your opposition.
Yeah, they talk more about Trump than they talk about what they're gonna do. And that's essentially even the voters. Promotion. Even the voters, man, they worried about Trump more than they worry about the candidate they actually want to push.
Exactly.
And I feel like, man, that's ultimately the demise of what happened.
So you see how it goes, what that means, how that works.
Yeah, but it shows what kind of climate we in too, man. It's scary. It's scary. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, for sure.
It's scary.
I mean, in my opinion, if I was gonna like my response would be, I don't really feel like either one was necessarily the best choice. Thanks. You know, that's just what it was. It's been that way for a while now. As far as like we got two people like, can we get a third person? You know what I mean?
Yeah. With more information though, I feel like it would always been like that though.
Yeah.
Because we ultimately, who's the right president? Like, yeah. What the president do is not going to change your situation ultimately. Like, if you really think about it.
Well, I don't agree because I had just from living, and I'm sure you can agree, that a lot of people, we've had better economies during certain presidents. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but to what though? Like, because we had a good economy when Trump was here, but then on the back end, you see it in 4 years. Like you don't see it at the moment when it's good.
The only thing I can say about that is we will never know because of COVID. So if COVID didn't happen, how would that presidency have ended? Because the economy was up and it just shattered, but it would have shattered for any president. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter what you were doing. So I mean, unless you want us to be over here having no money and killing each other, because it could have happened too. Like and during COVID, if like another president was president, he didn't give us no money. What would we have been doing out here without being at work? We've been robbing Walmart, robbing our neighbors. I mean, you got to feed your kids.
But ultimately, like, even inflation, like, inflation is guaranteed. Like, it's always going to be inflation. Like,
for sure.
So a lot of people look at inflation as, oh, it's not good for the economy. But ultimately, when have inflation stopped? Like, since beginning of a time, everything's been more expensive.
Yeah.
As we progress, as we have all this AI, as we have all this technology, everything's gonna cost more. Like it's just
absolutely
forever.
But I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's about slowing inflation. You know, and it's gonna go up, but at what degree? And I will say this: that there was a major inflation from COVID. It happened. It wasn't just about like policy from the president. Yeah. It was about the corporations. We were talking about the CEO. Back to that, it was about them being greedy and seeing the opportunity to raise the price because they could. And they could blame it on COVID. And everybody raised their price so much when they could have raised it less. And that's why they're profiting so much now. If they would have been less greedy, we would be better off right now as the citizens. You know, so the only point I was trying to make.
But there's a lot of behind the scenes things too, as far as like transferring goods and like different aspects. So
right.
it costs more to get certain stuff. So
so naturally the price was going to go up because for lack of products like when you're doing construction,
goods,
having lack of goods, you're trying to get like lack of material.
Yeah, exactly.
There was because people aren't working, so the only way you get material is people create it. If they're not working now, there's a lack of material. Yeah. So there's definitely understandable situations, but if COVID never happened, we'll never know. And that's not even to defend Trump, but it's just to say that any president would have had a major inflation right now. But all I can say is that
giving out a lot of money though.
We did.
Giving out a lot of money.
No, for sure. And it's like only thing I can say is I just hope he does improve the economy like he promises, because we need it. We need it as a nation. We need the economy to improve. You know, it cannot get no worse. I mean, it can, but we just don't. But we don't.
It's gonna
need it
get
to.
a lot worse.
It may.
I'm gonna let you know it's gonna get a lot worse.
May.
Forecast tells me it's gonna get a lot worse in the next 4 years. But it's gonna be good for those who are in the spaces that Trump is in, if that makes sense.
The buyers,
the entrepreneurs, the creators.
Yeah, the people who already have money.
They're gonna make money, a lot more money. But then the ones who's lower class, it's gonna suffer from it.
Well, I hope. All I could say is that I hope that it doesn't work that way. You know, I hope that there's certain things that are put into play where we're able to thrive.
Yeah, that's why I spit game, man, a lot about like investing, man, financial literacy, shit like that. Because the only way to kind of beat inflation is by investing. So there's different avenues. S&P 500. These are stocks that you can put your money in. It grows average 7 to 10% a year. Like, that's gonna be inflation. You put your money, make money while you don't have to actually do physical labor. You get passive income. So at that point, you can beat inflation. You could at least cover some ground from inflation. But a lot of people are not investing. A lot of people are not doing nothing with their money.
A lot of people aren't in a position to invest.
Yeah, but they got Jordans.
True.
They got iPhones.
Perhaps they are more than they know.
Exactly.
More disciplined, but priorities.
Priorities, man. Yeah. A lot of people don't got their priorities in order. Because I heard a lot of people say what they can't do, but what you could do though. Like, have you looked in the mirror and said what you could cut back on? Right. Like, do you have to drink Starbucks every day? Like,
true.
Do you have to? Like, it's certain things you cut back on. Investing is not just about putting $1 million, $10 million. You could put $5 in a day or $5 in a week. Like, as long as you're making some money, or as long as you're making some progress. We talked about that earlier in the podcast, just making some progress. Put a little bit of money in. Like, you don't have to put everything in. Some people may not have it, but Bitcoin was $1, 15 years ago. Now it's worth 100,000.
You're
you know what I'm saying? Everybody had $1.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, you made some good points. I mean, I countered you to see what you were going to say, and you said the right thing.
Yeah,
you said the right thing.
Priorities, bro. Priorities is the key, man. Mindset, man, and that's why I always bring up me understanding, coming from a Haitian background, understanding how it is in Haiti and things of that nature. I always bring that up, man, because you can always. Man, if you saying you ain't got it here, they really ain't got it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, they really don't got it. So unless you like damn near homeless and you flat, like, you could invest $2, $1 a week. Like, bro, it's 52 weeks, $52. We put $52 a year. Let that grow for the next 18 years. Boom. Like, I tell a lot of people, if you have kids, things of that nature, man, start investing for your kids. Even if it's $5 a month, by the time they hit 18, they don't have to beg you for a car. They go for the car. Like, just $5 a month. And it ain't nothing to you, really. You ain't even thinking of it. You can just put $5 a month. Now, this $5 a month, I'm saying, for 18 years. And let it accumulate 10% a year. Like, just small things that I just wish my parents knew. And I just wish other people would like actually implement, man, because, bro, it can make a difference in your life, completely.
When we was kids, the knowledge wasn't out there.
Yeah,
unless our parents told us, or our teacher told us,
facts,
or a coach or whoever, we weren't going to know this stuff. Yeah, so that's what the difference is now, and that's why it's important we talk about this type of stuff, to let the youth know, hey, you should be doing these types of things, because when we were a kid, we didn't know. Yeah. We didn't know no damn better. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Some of these opportunities didn't even exist back then. like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Didn't exist at all when I was a kid, you know? Or if it did, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't remember exactly when it came out. But,
yeah,
you know,
2000, I want to say 6.
Yeah, so, you know, like when I was a kid, you know, I barely would have been able to do something like that.
Yeah,
you know I wouldn't have knew.
You gonna miss a wave. Like I feel like there's a wave. Some people miss the wave, but if you're in tune enough, like if you do enough research, you study, if you spend more time trying to be proactive instead of reactive, you're gonna find your niche and you're gonna make something work for it. You get what I'm saying? So back in the days, man, it's unfortunate we didn't have social media. But now it's no excuse.
Right.
Back in the days, you got all the excuses where I give it to you. You ain't have the opportunities.
Right. But that's the whole point right there.
Oh, shit.
So let me ask you this, another topic. You got you. So did you hear about there was a congressional hearing about like a couple of weeks ago where they said that like the government, the senator, I forget exactly what senator was saying that there are aliens that live in the water. Did you hear about that?
Nah, not really.
Bro, there was a congressional hearing where all these different people were presenting what they were presenting and asking the question to the government. The government was actually opening up and saying that there are aliens that live in the water. They have been in contact with them, and they were admitting their existence. That shit's crazy. Like my whole life, like they never want to admit it. They never want to admit there's aliens. They never want to talk about aliens. But now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they want to tell us there's aliens. And ever since they did that, there's been all these sightings of aliens. Like, all these ships, people are putting all these posts up. Like, more sightings than normal. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, man, I think it's all fair, though, man. I feel like the government, they know how to get you to react. So they gonna push, the media gonna push fear on people. And ultimately, that's what they profit off of.
Yeah.
The name of the game in America, bro, is to sell something.
Yeah.
They could get you scared enough, you're going to panic, and what you going to do? You're going to buy all the toiletry in Walmart. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
hurricane come, you're going to buy all the water. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're going to buy all the gas. Bro, it's all fair. And the stock market have a thing called fear and greed. You get what I'm saying? So smart people know that if you really do your research and you really look into it, when everyone's scared, that's when you want to go head first. And when everybody's greedy, that's when you want to fall back.
So when people are scared, you should buy?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great buying opportunity because everyone's scared. That means everything's tanking. Stocks is the only thing that people shy away from when it tanks. But if that TV go on sale, what you gonna do? You gonna buy it? If them Jordans go on sale, the price got cheaper. You gonna buy it. But the stock got cheaper. You scared? Oh, it's gonna go to zero. No, it's another buying experience. You buy it low, sell it high. You get it at a cheap price.
Yeah.
But that's the psychology of it.
Because a lot of people are scared that it won't go back up.
Exactly.
That's the scary part of it.
That's the psychology. And it's like, why are you not scared on any other thing go down when any other thing go down? You see that what I'm saying? If
because
you just sit down and think about
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
I'm going
to tell you why. Because when a TV goes on sale for Black Friday, it's a guarantee it's going to go back up. But you know what's crazy is that a lot of times it's not necessarily true. You know how many times people will buy a TV on sale, be like, oh, this is a $500 TV, but hey, it's for $300 today. And then they realize it was always $300. It was never $500. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's always a trickery behind it. You know what I'm saying?
But let me tell you the biggest trick. You didn't save $200 on a $500 TV. You spent $300.
Exactly.
Now that's the biggest thing. Because then that TV, you're going to put it up, you might not even use it. Or you might not even need it. You probably had a 50-inch, but you got a 70-inch because it was on sale.
Yeah.
And you won't even see the difference.
Right. It's and the thing is that like is there's no money to be made off that TV.
Yeah, at all.
It's just you just bought it.
You just bought it. Now you got another TV. Right. What you gonna do with 2 TVs, 3 TVs, 4 TVs? You only can watch one.
Right. Like how much more money are you gonna make from having those TVs?
You're not gonna make no money.
Exactly. If you buy a stock for $300 when it's on sale, and then it goes up to $1,000, you spent $300, which is now worth $1,000.
And you got ownership.
Yeah.
You can hold it and you can pass it on to your kids. That TV, man, you can pass it on to your kids.
Like our parents could have let us have the big old TVs with the you know.
It's a liability because it's losing value every day.
Exactly.
Every day.
There's no gain to it.
One day shit, the speakers ain't gonna work. The screen might not even work. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And eventually it's gonna be worth nothing. And you're gonna throw it away in the garbage can, and you're gonna buy a new one and replace it. And then you just constantly chasing. At that point, it's like, man, you just wasting.
Right.
And that's why America ultimately, bro, they sell fear.
Yeah.
They want you to be scared.
I mean, that was a good response. Response. I think that it's very possible that these crafts that we're seeing and this information they're giving us, the crafts could just be like something they created, drones. We can make drones. Why can't we make it some sort of craft move like that? If we can make a drone move like that, you're just making a big version of it. So it's possibly we're at the point now where they're going to create these crafts to fool us and make us think they're aliens or whatever.
Distractions.
To distract us or put us in a fearful situation. To control. Because you're right. Fear has a certain level of control, just like with the stock market.
Facts.
So let me ask you this. So if you could say something to the youth, something that, could have helped you growing up, something that, could have benefited you, what would you say?
Play the long game. If I wanted to talk to the youth, I'm gonna tell them play the long game. The short-term success is never worth it. If you ain't work hard for it and you got it, ultimately it ain't worth much. You know what I'm saying? What you put in, whatever you do, if you put in them hours, them 10,000 hours that they talk about, you gotta always put in. That right there is gonna create character. It's gonna create habits. It's gonna create integrity. It's gonna create those values, those characteristics that's gonna ultimately lead you to be great in whatever field you do. So I mean, play the long game, man. If it take 5 years, let it take 5 years. If it take 10 years, let it take 10 years. Because all it is God saying you're not ready for it yet, man. A lot of people think, like, I ain't got it now. God got something against me. But ultimately, man, God is telling you you're not ready for it yet. And it may not be because you don't got the ability. It just may be because you're around the wrong people. You might blow the bag if you get the bag right now. You get what I'm saying? Right. Or you might crash out. If you fuck around and get too much money, you start doing stupid shit. You get into an accident, something like that happens. Ultimately, man, it's just the timing. You just got to be patient, put in the work, and play the long game. That's going to be my game to the youth, man. Play the long game, man. Don't worry about the short-term success, the NIL deals, the money you getting right now. Invest that money. You make a lot more in the future. And guess what? This is a marathon, bro. This is not a sprint. At the end of the day, man, we got so much life ahead of you, especially the youth, man. You got so much life ahead of you. You ain't even see half of the shit. So what you in a rush for? Like, there's going to come a time where you could really chill. Like, after you retire, say, for instance, NFL players, man, guys who really put in that work, fulfilled, got what they got out of the game, and retired the right way, man, now you get the kickback. You done put it all out there. You feel me? You done put all the work in. You exhausted. Now you could just say, man, I'm going to kick my feet up and relax. And at that point, you got all the fruits to your labor, and now you can take vacations. You can spend time with your family. You feel what I'm saying? You could do the things that really make you happy. Like, you could invest in your mental health. You could create different hobbies, play video games. You got all your life to play video games. They're going to come out with an Xbox 6, they're going to come out with a PlayStation 10. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can always play video games.
That's a good point.
You can always have fun. Like, even when you get older, you can have fun. You can play hoops, play basketball at the park. Like, it's all. But if you don't put in the work now and you don't reap what you sow now, then you're going to be working all your life. Or you're going to have a boss who's going to tell you what to do all your life. Right. And then you're going to have to do it instead of wanting to do it. And ultimately, that's why I want everyone to pretty much have is that freedom to do what you like, do what you love. Even if you got a 9-to-5 job, that's cool. As long as you love it, that's cool. But if you hate going where you going and you doing the same thing over and over and you ain't trying to get better, you ain't trying to find different skills, you ain't trying to invest in your personal development, then could you really be that mad? Do you really hate your job like that? Like you say you hate your job? Because it's 24 hours in a day, man, 9 to 5. But last time I checked, man, that's 8 hours. Like, so what? Them other hours, you got to find a way to feed your family, feed your business, feed yourself. You don't give the job 8 hours. I mean, you deserve shit. You deserve more than 8, right? Or you just gonna give them 8, go to sleep 9, and give yourself the short end of the stick. Nah, man, you gotta feed you, man. Feed your craft, feed your gifts, feed your whatever fulfills you, whatever make you happy, and live your best life, man. That's all I can say, man. I'm big on that, man.
No, that's big what you said. Yeah. It's like what you do with your free time is what determines who you're gonna be. Exactly. Because like we all got to put the 8 in, no matter what it is. We're gonna put. Well, some people got to put 0 in because they just got them investments. But the way they got there was
that still ain't 0 though.
No,
you gotta do homework. You gotta research.
But there's some people who can literally do nothing all day and still make $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people who
they done put in that work though.
Exactly. The only way you're gonna get to there is to put that work in. And if you work a job and you only put 8 hours into your job, that's cool and all. But if you want more than that, then you have to create something bigger than that. And the things that you do outside of your job become so big that you eventually quit your job. And you say, I'm not going to work this job no more because what I'm doing outside of it has the potential to make more than the job. It's already making more.
And you love doing it.
And you love doing it. It's something that it's you. It's not somebody else's dream because the job is fulfilling someone else's dream. Facts. It might be your dream, but it was their dream first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They dreamed the whole company up. They manifested. They created it. Now your dream is to work for them. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do in life.
That's what you want to do, and that'll make you happy.
Yeah, but if you want to be more than that, and then you're gonna have to create your own dream. So let me ask you this: what's coming up next for you?
So man, I'm just building, man. At the end of the day, I'm telling everybody about progress, and that's what I'm doing, man. I'm building the brand, work till it works. I got some merch. So y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, X, YouTube, Work Till It Works. That's it. Exactly how I spell WORKTIL, WORKT.
Work till it works.
Work till it works. Yeah, work till it works.
Yeah. So, and what's your Instagram? Say one more time.
Oh, Work Till It Works is my Instagram for my business, for my media platform,
Work Till It Works is right
podcast, and I got X Mark the Spot training. So X Mark the Spot training is my personal
and it's X
training.
MARC.
Yeah, right? X MARC, the THE Spot SPOT training. With a T though. We ain't spelling out the whole training. We just putting a T at the end.
Yeah.
And X Mark the Spot training. So y'all make sure y'all follow me on X and on YouTube and also on Instagram as well. I ain't got a TikTok yet. Man, too much social media, man. So
yeah,
I can't keep up.
You know
with
what?
It,
They're
man.
about to ban TikTok.
Oh yeah, shit.
They're about to. Well, they say who knows.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming today, bro.
Yeah, facts. Y'all make sure y'all support. Y'all support LetItPhlo, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow his pages as well, man. I like to support, man, everybody. Because at the end of the day, if everybody do a little bit, nobody got to do a lot, man. So at the end of the day, man, support your dog. Make sure everybody give you opportunities, everybody in your circle, man, support them, shout them out, like them, subscribe, follow, because it's all free, man. All that shit free, man. Unless you want to buy like a hoodie or something like that. Yeah, it's going to cost you. But at the end of the day, everything else is free, man.
But nothing too crazy,
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Nothing too crazy, man. Just show love, man. Love and positivity, man. Y'all be easy.
That's it. All right, we'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah, that was dope, man.
It's time to let it flow. Let it.